Diane Babossi wasn't your typical security guard. Sure, he manned the front desk at a sprawling media house in southeast England, but his mind was usually light years away, tangled in the mysteries of quantum physics. For weeks, he'd been noticing something odd. People entering the building, journalists, producers, even the big-shot executives, they all seemed to trick or veer in a peculiar way, right at the same spot in the lobby. It was subtle, a slight stumble, a minor course correction, but it was consistent. To anyone else, it was just a wonky floor tile. To Diane, it was a signal from the universe. One evening, over dinner, he tried to explain it to his wife, Mukiala. She was a glamorous socialite, always patient with his eccentric theories. "Honey," he began, "what if people are like photons? What if our path through the world isn't as straightforward as we think?" Mukiala just smiled, accustomed to his late-night musings that connected everyday life to the deepest cosmic questions. She knew he wasn't just a security guard. He was a brilliant physicist, trapped in a job that didn't challenge his mind. "Tell me more," she said, genuinely curious. That night, Diane couldn't sleep. The tripping, the veering, it all clicked. It was like a measurement problem. He scribbled furiously in his notebook, the idea taking shape, a grand thought experiment. He called it the Calamity of Choice. Imagine this. 100,000 people are gathered before a massive wall with two identical doors, door A and door B. Each person has to choose one door to walk through. The room on the other side is simple. Just a long blank wall waiting for them. Before they go through their chosen door, each person dips one hand in black paint. Once they pass through, they must walk straight ahead and press their painted hand against the far wall. Now, what pattern do you think you'd see on that wall? You'd expect two distinct solid blocks of handprints, one directly behind door A and one behind door B, right? A simple reflection of the choices made. But Dime's theory predicted something else entirely. He believed an interference pattern would emerge. Instead of two solid blocks, you'd see a series of vertical stripes, alternating bands of dense handprints and empty spaces. It would look as if the people hadn't just walked through one door or the other, but had somehow interfered with themselves, like waves. How could this be possible? Diam had a few dark, funny ideas. Maybe the pattern was influenced by something as simple as the participants' height or the width of their shoulders, causing them to drift slightly differently. Or, and this was his favorite part, maybe it was connected to that same strange phenomenon he observed at work. He called it proneness to calamity. Just like the people tripping in his lobby, maybe each person in the experiment had a tiny, almost unnoticeable tendency to stumble or veer. This tiny, random calamity in their path, when multiplied by 100,000, wouldn't be random at all. It would create a predictable wave-like pattern. He proposed that humans, like photons in the double-slit experiment, don't just travel from A to B. Our path is a probability wave, full of potential calamities and detours. The simple act of choosing a door and walking forward is a quantum event. And the final handprint is the collapse of that wave function. We are all, in our own clumsy way, quantum particles navigating a world of infinite possibilities and occasional, pattern-forming stumbles. Diam wrote up his thought experiment, his heart pounding with the thrill of discovery. This was it. This connected the bizarre world of the very small to our own human experience. He sent his paper, The Calamity of Choice and Macroscale Quantum Phenomena, to the most prestigious physics journals in the world. He waited and waited. The rejections started trickling in. They were polite but firm. An interesting, if unorthodox, thought experiment, one editor wrote. Lacks empirical evidence. Another dismissed it as philosophical speculation, not physics. The scientific community, the very people he hoped would see the genius in his idea, were closing their doors. They saw a security guard with a wild imagination, not a physicist on the verge of a revolution. But Diane wasn't discouraged. He knew he was right. They just weren't ready to see that the universe was far stranger and funnier than they could ever imagine. His journey was just beginning. Thanks for watching. If you found this story intriguing, make sure to like and subscribe for more mind-bending tailies.